Welcome to K-Tech Information Systems. Our product is Legal Matterpoint, or LMP. In this segment, we will be talking about the admin console. The admin console is where the general system configuration options will be set, and many of the practice-specific configuration options will be located. Before logging into the system, I recommend considerable thought be given to each practice area that you work with and what the key steps, documents, and deadlines are relative to those practice areas. As the system administrator, the admin console is where you will have control over the users that have access to your system, what their security parameters are, and other information about each user gaining access to your system. A user cannot log into the system unless they are a client, administrator, or employee, and they have a password which is set. And if two-factor authentication is set up, they will need to enter the code presented by Google Authenticator on their smart device. The admin console is also where matters are managed at a very global level. A matter once submitted is new. The matter must be activated to become available for work. Milestones will be applied upon activation of the matter, and dates will be projected based upon the current date. The admin panel is where a number of miscellaneous application settings will be defined. This requires a great deal of consideration and thought. Two-factor authentication, for example, would be set in the administrative panel and can be forced to apply system-wide. Payment processing through either Square or LawPay are supported by LMP. You can set your office's email server up, and email notifications generated by the system will be transmitted using your email server. You can select which events are notified to your employees or to your clients through these configuration settings. There are internal system notifications and external email notifications, and you have a great deal of flexibility about which events will trigger a notification to either a client or an employee. You can export dates from the system and data from the system. You can configure job titles. For example, use the job titles that work in your office. Maybe you don't call a senior member maybe you call it a partner. The point being that the system is extremely flexible. You can put the job titles that you use in your office into the system and utilize those just the way you want them. Other things that you can configure include document categories. Maybe you call an initial pleading a complaint in your state or a petition. Pick which one you want. Call it what you want. You can configure the system the way you want it. Anchor date categories are another feature of the system. Those would be in your workflow sequence. Those would be things like an answer is due or a deposition is scheduled on a certain date. An anchor date is just like it sounds. It's a date that's fixed in stone. The system supports defining milestones in your workflow, but it also supports defining dates that cannot move, and they will appear in the system as well, and that's part of your calendaring system. And any system needs to know when the users are accessing the system as an added measure of security. So we have an audit log in the administrative panel or the admin console for LMP, so you can tell who logged in and out and when. If you like what you saw during this segment, please follow these simple instructions to start your free trial. Thank you for considering Legal Matterpoint.